Okay, so if you're running an online business, you need to listen up. The ground is literally shifting under our feet. All the old rules about cybersecurity, AI is rewriting them. And what kept you safe last year? Well, it could put you out of business in 2025. So let's get right into it and figure out how to build an empire that's truly cyber smart.
And this quote right here, it absolutely nails the heart of the issue. See, we're not just fighting malicious code anymore. We're up against an AI that gets human psychology. It's a whole new type of threat, and it's aimed directly at our ability to trust what we see and hear.
Let's just break that down for a second. You remember those spam emails, right? The ones with the horrible grammar? Yeah, those are basically ancient history now. The real story is the contrast you see here. We've gone from obvious fakes to totally flawless social engineering. We're talking AI that can whip up hyper-realistic deepfakes and even clone voices. The game has completely, and I mean completely, changed.
So what does one of these super advanced attacks actually, look like in the wild? Let's take a look under the hood and really dissect the anatomy of how these things work. I want you to just imagine this for a moment. You get an email from your biggest client. The language is perfect. It even references that conversation you had last week. And it's asking for an urgent change to their payment details. So you call them to verify, and you hear their voice, confirming everything. The only problem? It's not them. It's a cloned voice. This is the new reality. These attacks are so convincing, our own senses can't even tell the difference. The threat is obviously clear, but what's the actual damage we're talking about? Because it's so much more than just a financial headache. For a lot of businesses, this is literally about survival. Let's just put a number on it. Let's start with the hard cash. For a small business, the average cost of a single breach is over $10,000. For so many entrepreneurs, that's it. Game over. That's not just lost profit, that's your capital, that's payroll, that's your future, all gone. But honestly, that financial hit, it's just the tip of the iceberg. The long-term fallout is what really gets you. I mean, how do you bounce back from losing your customers' trust? Or from having your secret sauce, your intellectual property stolen? These are the kinds of costs that can just completely crumble a business for years to come.
Okay, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's talk about the solution. How do we fight back? This is what we call the Digital Fortress Blueprint. It's a structured, actionable plan.
So, this is our roadmap. There are 5 key areas we absolutely have to master. First, spotting these new AI scams. Second, hardening our financial channels. Third, protecting our creator assets. Fourth, and this is a big one, implementing logins that are actually unbreakable. And finally, learning how to use these powerful AI tools for growth without accidentally leaking our own data.
All right, let's roll up our sleeves and dive into the first few parts of that blueprint. We're going to start with the specific, must-know protocols for locking down your most important assets.
First up is something called VOB, which stands for Verification Out of Band. The idea is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. If a request comes in on one channel, say over email, you verify it on a totally separate, trusted channel, like a secure app on your phone. See, an AI can fake an email or a voice call, but it can't be in 2 different places at once. That one simple step completely neutralizes the attack.
Next, for your absolute crown jewels, we're talking your crypto wallets, your main bank account access, you need a cold vault. All this means is taking them completely offline. If your assets aren't connected to the internet, they simply can't be hacked over the internet. It's really that simple. It's your digital safe.
And for all you creators and innovators out there, listen up, because this one's for you. Your NFTs, your blockchain assets, all of their security boils down to one single thing, your seed phrase. This protocol is all about the exact careful steps you need to take to manage that master key so it can never, ever be compromised.
Now, having the right tools and protocols is absolutely critical, but it's really only half the battle. The real goal here is to move past these one-off fixes and to build something way more powerful and lasting.
It all starts with your logins. For way too long, we've kind of treated them as an afterthought, right? But they are the front door to your entire digital empire. And more often than not, they're the absolute weakest link in the chain.
Look, that standard 2-factor authentication we've all been using, the little code you get on your phone, it's just not enough anymore. It's time to level up to hardware security keys. We're talking about a physical device like a YubiKey that makes your logins practically unbreakable. You plug it in, you tap it, you're in. No codes that can be phished, no compromises.
And this right here, this is probably the most important message of all.
You can't just buy a piece of software and call it a day. Security has to be a mindset. It has to be a process. It has to be a culture that's built into everything you and your team do every single day.
And that brings us to the whole idea of the continuous security blueprint. This isn't some checklist you do once and forget about. No, it's an ongoing system of audits, updates, and awareness that turns security from a chore into a real competitive advantage. It's all about being proactive instead of reactive.
So as we wrap this up, the only real question left is the one right here on the screen. The threats are real, they are powered by some seriously smart AI, and they are coming for businesses just like yours. So after everything we've talked about, you've just got to ask yourself, are you really ready?